Hiya, Adam Payne here, coming at you from Japan with the Video Marketing Insider, and in this video we're going to talk all about how to make more affiliate sales, especially when you've got a ton of other people promoting the same product. How do you stand out and get people to buy through your link? This video has come about through a question that was posed inside of my Beers with Adam Facebook group. So basically here's the question: if everyone's promoting the same product, how do you make sure you stand out from the rest and make it hard for someone to resist not buying through your link? And there was some good advice, but it's a really important question, because when you're an affiliate marketer and you've got 50, 100, 200 people promoting the same thing, why should anybody buy through you or buy through me or buy through somebody else? And that's what we're going to look at in this video. Now, a couple of replies here. We had, for example, be honest, then you stand at a mile, which is true. Show proof, buy the product, show proof, use it, email, bonuses, all of this stuff's really important. But I want to take a step back and go through a bunch of stuff that by the end of this video, you will have a better understanding. And if you employ the stuff that I talk about, over time, I guarantee you will get better results as an affiliate marketer. There's a bit of work to be done, and this video could go on, so let's get to it. Okay, so here we are over at a little notepad that I've got opened up, and this is for my benefit and for your benefit. These are the things that I want to cover in this video, and the first one you can see is realism. A lot of people get started, and I was guilty of this first off. I remember when I got started, I had a list of about 1,000 people that I'd built up through solo ads. Now, we won't get into the details of what solo ads are, but honestly speaking, I personally believe they're one of the worst traffic sources out there. They're great for building a list, but they're not very good for building a decent one. I had a list of 1,000 people that I had built through solo ads back in the day, and I decided to promote my first product as an affiliate on Warrior Plus, and I chose a product that was $7. I emailed it to my list, no one bought it. I emailed it over 2 or 3 times, and I made 3 sales of a $7 product, which paid me 100% commissions. Nobody bought any of the upsells, so I made $21. Several failed campaigns later, I realised that my list was rubbish. But I remember seeing the leaderboard, which of course I wasn't on, and I remember seeing 2 guys near the top, and I remember it distinctly. It was a guy called Han Fan and a guy called Ali G. And I remember thinking, why can they make all these sales and I can't? And the reason is because they had skills that I didn't have at that time. They had knowledge that I didn't have at that time. They had experience that I didn't have. But most importantly, those guys and everybody else above me had an audience. Now, fast forward to today, I'm pretty sure I could get more affiliate sales than both of those guys, because I do things differently to most people. But it all started with me realising the importance of having an audience. Now, before we get into the audience, I just want to give you a little bit of proof that I do actually know what I'm talking about. So these are a few launches that I have won, which means I have sold the most as an affiliate. One here is a Facebook product, a video ads product, and I know for a fact that my email list is much smaller than anybody else's on both of these launches. My list is tiny. You would be shocked at how small my email list is. But I got the most sales. How is that? We'll explain in a second. This launch here called AdReal a couple of years ago, I finished 3rd. Most other people teamed up. Individually, they've got lists 4 or 5 times bigger than me. How could I finish 3rd and get $10,000 in overall commissions? Same as I won these ones, I'll tell you in a second. And other launches as well, launches that I've won, I'm going up against teams or people that have been around longer than me, people have got bigger lists than me. And I guarantee all of these people, maybe 1 or 2 haven't, but all of these people have probably got bigger lists than me as well, and more stuff, more other launches there. The point is, it comes down to this: audience. And that is what, when you are new, you don't have. And I didn't have it when I started. When Frank Kern first started, he didn't have an audience. When Ben Settle started, he didn't have an audience. When any guru or big name out there in any area, they didn't have an audience. No one knew who they were. But now they have, and you look at them now and you think, wow, I could never be like that. But the truth is, anybody can be like that with the right application. So you have to focus on building an audience. And an audience is a group of people that are in your kind of sphere of influence, to coin a term that Andre Chaperon uses, that know you exist, they listen to you, they trust you, they believe you, and they'll buy through your recommendations. But how do you build an audience? There are tons of different ways. For me personally, I have my YouTube channel. YouTube I love because people think that they know you and they're friends with you, and they've never even met you because they've seen your face, they hear your voice. Not everybody wants to get on video, but I realised that I had to get over myself and get on video a way back. I have my email list. My email list now is predominantly built up of people that have come across me through video marketing and products that I have launched in the past on that topic. So I've kind of built up an area of expertise in video marketing. So anybody that comes across me and is on my list in some way, shape or form has an interest in anything related to video. So I've got my email list, which is not big, by the way, but it's engaged. I'm very engaged with the people on my email list. I make personal videos, personal audios. I reply personally. I don't fob it off to a support desk. I don't, ignore people if they've got a problem. I'll email anybody that emails me. And even the last 2 days, I've made 3 videos and 2 audios for people that have never even bought a product of mine. They're on my list. They came across me somehow. I'm not thinking, well, they've never paid any money, so I'm not going to communicate with them. I'm building a relationship, whether that's through email, through video replies, through audios, through my Facebook group, which is another part of my audience, my Beers of Adam Facebook group. All of these things are my audience. So for me, it's a Facebook group, it's an email list that's engaged, it's a YouTube channel predominantly. And so you've got to build an audience, and you've got to do it in the best way that you feel best and the best way that's comfortable to you. If you don't want to get on video, build a list, do something else, but get an audience. A list in itself isn't an audience until they're engaged. And if you're just going to spam your list, they're never going to be a real audience. Which brings us to the topic of size and quality. My list is tiny, but it's engaged and it's good quality. It's come from being the hunted in a lot of cases, which is why, again, I take people back to YouTube. Somebody comes to YouTube and they type in how to install a Facebook pixel. They find my video because I know how to rank a video on that topic. I show them. I don't not show them. I show them, and then I direct them to my opt-in page to get onto my email list, which then on the thank you page shows them how to get onto my Facebook group. And it all kind of interlinks. People on my list are not always in my Facebook group. People on my list aren't even on Facebook sometimes. People on YouTube aren't on my list or on my Facebook group, but they watch the videos. So you've got to get people from different angles and be consistent. With Facebook groups, I show up every single day. With my list, I email almost every single day. I make videos quite a lot. And it's consistency over time that has built up my quality, and that's really, really helpful. So if you're new and you've never made any sales before, focus on building an audience. Then be honest to your audience. Let me just take you over to one of my websites here. Beers About It. It's been revamped at the moment. But whenever I choose to review a product, I try and be as in-depth as possible and as honest as possible. I mean, there are certain reviews which I've been a bit too brief on, but for the majority of the case, I try to be as, open as possible. I don't tend to put a product on this site if I think it's rubbish, and believe me, there's a ton of crap out there. But so anybody that comes here knows that although it's going to be detailed, it's going to be honest. So let me just give you an example of one. Let me get rid of that. I'm revamping the site at the moment. I need to get rid of that pop-up. Okay, I'm just going to take you to a product called Funnelize, which is a product by J.K. Dowdle over a year ago. And so I wrote this review. It's fairly long. I had a video which I spent a lot of time making. I didn't hide anything. So anybody that saw this knew everything they needed to know and watched the video, had everything they needed to know to decide whether they wanted to go to the sales page or not. So if you want to get people to buy through your link, you need to actually go through the product in question. So you need to either buy it or you need to get a review copy. You then need to go through it in detail, and you need to show people that you've gone through it if you're going to make a video, for example. No good just not buying it and talking over the sales page. Any idiot can do that. Your reviews need to be honest with the best intent, with looking after your audience. If you find a flaw in the product, tell people about it. No product's perfect. It doesn't matter. You're not being horrible to that vendor. But if you find a flaw or something missing, tell people about it. If you don't like something if you think the funnel's too big or it's too expensive or one of the OTOs isn't very good, tell people about it. That's what people will respect. Don't hide anything. Talk about the product, show them it, the flaws, the pros, the cons. the pricing, the upgrades, everything that they need to know, so they're not got to look elsewhere for other information. You want to have everything there, and you're not trying to force it down their throat and say, this is the best thing since sliced bread, because that's what all the other jokers are doing. You're basically saying, this is a product, this is what it is, this is what it does, I'll show you, this is how much it costs. If you want to buy it, I've got a great bonus. We'll talk about bonuses later. You've got to be honest. It's a sad state of affairs when in the IM industry, being honest is someone's USP, when it should be everybody should be honest, but we all know that people aren't. So, be honest, choose things that are going to benefit your list, and don't fall into the trap of thinking that you have to use it yourself. There are lots of things that I review that I don't use myself purely because the training is too basic for where I am right now. Several years ago it would have been perfect for me, but I know that people watching my videos, reading my reviews, will get value from that product. So basic doesn't mean bad. So don't fall into that trap, and you don't have to even use the softwares moving forward. As long as you test the software and it works and it's functional, it may not be something that you particularly need in your business, but you can still promote it as an affiliate ethically, so long as you're just clear and upfront. And I think that will help you stand out. You may think it's obvious, but being honest will make you stand out from the crowd. There are very few honest marketers out there. So that's something. Now, let's go back to my Beers with Adam site. I'm just going to open up a new tab. Just go to the raw domain for the moment. Swing that across there. Let this open a sec. Okay, so you can see here, this is episode 311, my most recent one. A lot of work's gone into that. If you go back to episode 1, 2, 3, probably the first 40, 50 episodes, the majority are pretty bad. I didn't mean them to be bad when I made them, but I didn't have the skill set, knowledge that I have now. But the only way you get good at something is by doing it. So just start. If you're going to make a review site like this, be consistent. Look, 311, that's quite a lot. And it's happened over several years. It didn't happen instantly. The first review I made probably didn't get any sales. Maybe I got 1 or 2. But now things have changed. So, practice makes perfect. If you're going to make a review site, which I highly recommend that you do, then definitely be consistent with it, and don't get downhearted if you make no sales for the first month or 2, because again, it comes down to an audience, and this is one way that you can build an audience, because you can get your website ranked for keywords that aren't very difficult, and then when people find you, you can then have an opt-in page here, or you can send people to your Facebook group, or you can give them a free gift, or you can put a pixel on this page and then take out a Facebook ad. There's tons of stuff that you could do, and if you don't know how to do that, Google and YouTube are your friends. So that's one thing here. What I want to talk about is honesty. The next thing is offering a bonus. We all know that when we promote a product as an affiliate, a lot of people go bonus shopping. Now, I don't personally believe that any product should have a bonus, but reality is you need one because everybody else has got one. But you don't want to fall into the trap of offering too much. A lot of people will offer 50 plugins or 40 PLR things or whatever, and it's too much. Nobody needs that stuff. It's just going to collect dust. And don't attach these fake kind of, it's worth $50,000 my bonus package, and buy the $7 PDF. It's BS. People aren't stupid. Well, some are obviously, but a lot of people aren't. Let me give you an example of a really cool bonus package that I offered a couple of years ago for a product called AdReel, which you saw I finished 3rd. So if I click on read more. So, okay, I've written the review. Again, this could look nicer. I could have this table of contents further down, but the review was in depth. My video is currently ranking number 1, but it wasn't ranking number 1 during the launch. It was fluctuating. But the key reason that I believe I won this launch, or one of the key reasons that I finished 3rd, sorry, not 1, I finished 3rd, was my bonus. I offered something unique. I had to make this. Nobody else could offer this. And I guarantee you there was no bonus better than this. AdReel, in short, is a software that makes little videos for YouTube and Facebook ads. But that's all it does. It makes the videos. It's fantastic. I like it. But making a video is no good if you don't know what to do with the video. So I made a complete training course, which I probably could have sold for $197 on YouTube and Facebook ads. There were tons of videos in this training package. And I also offered one of my softwares for anybody that bought OTO 1 or 2, which was a software which is congruent because it was about pulling placements for YouTube ads. So it was a no-brainer. nobody else had a bonus as congruent and as in-depth as mine, and that was how I was able to compete with the teams or the big players. Now you may be thinking, well, Adam, I can't do that. I don't have a software and I don't have the time or the ability to create something like this. You don't have to go as hardcore as this, but you can still make bonuses for people that are congruent, that make up for what's missing. Now that could just be one video. Sometimes I've offered one video. It could be a PDF. It could be a Skype call. It could be some, stock videos that you've purchased and you've got the rights to give away. But something congruent that's unique, not something that everybody else is offering, and keep it, keep it good but not too big. And when I say too big, I mean not too many different things. Things that people would potentially be able to pay, would be happy to pay for on their own. I could sell this and I could sell this individually. The fact that they're part of a bonus package makes that buying ad reel a no-brainer for anybody that actually came to this page. The only people that didn't buy ad reel through my link didn't know that this page was here, didn't know who I was, didn't know that I had this bonus. So putting a lot of effort into your bonus is important, and don't get downhearted if you put tons of effort into it and then no one buys, because you can use the bonus on more than one occasion. There's nothing to stop you using it for other launches further on down the line. In fact, this bonus and this bonus I've used in the past for other video related launches as well, but this one was where it was the most successful. If we go back up to the home, actually no, let's go back to the funnelized review, and if I come down here, you can see here that I've got some other fantastic bonuses, access to a membership site, access to a software, access to this if people buy upgrades. You can give bonuses for upgrades. And again, the reason that I won this launch was because my bonus was way better than everybody else's. My review was the most in-depth and my bonus was the best. It's just a fact. Now, yes, I could have had all of that in place, but without this, I probably wouldn't have even got in the top 20 of the launch. It's because I had this and I had this. People trust me because of my past, how I've conduct myself in the past, and then I add this on, and it's almost guaranteed to win. The other thing that I recommend people do is what's called pre-selling. Now, pre-selling is only possible really if you have an email list, and it could be 20 people, it could be 20,000 people. You can still do it. And I learnt this technique from Andre Chaperon several years ago. He called it an email triad, whereas you send out 3 emails per promotion. I've gone hardcore sometimes. I've sent out 10. But for example, what happens is several days before a launch, I'll start emailing out, if it's something that I'm going to take seriously for a great product, and I'll start emailing out a set of stories that kind of follow on one from the other. And it hooks people in, it gets people reading, it builds anticipation. And then 1 or 2 days before the launch, I link them to my review post, something like this. They can't buy it because it's not live. But they've been through this story, and then they suddenly get to this page through an email. And if they've come this far, they're almost guaranteed to buy it. And then of course the next day I say it's live, go here. I send them back here, and if they've gone through 3 or 4 or 5 emails and they've come to my review page a couple of times, and then they decide to click this button, then they're almost guaranteed to buy it. If they don't click this button, then of course they can't buy it. That's why my conversion rate is so high, because I put in the effort, I put in the work, and over the time and years gone by, I've built up the trust factor, and I'm congruent with this. I don't just promote a great product once and then promote a piece of rubbish the next time. You've got to be consistent, and that is the key. And yes, there's work, yes, there's effort, but that's why I can do it, because I put in that work and I put in that effort, and that's why anybody else can do it if they've got the right mindset. Small things that you can do just to get a few extra sales is mailing unopened. So when you send out an email, I always send them out about 11 p.m. EST, which is kind of like 11 p.m. Japan time, which is whatever that is in EST. But when I wake up in the morning, I'll check, I'll see who hasn't opened that email, and then whatever autoresponder you have, you can do this. You then make a group of people that haven't opened your email, and you send out to those people only, like a reminder. You just change the headline up a little bit, and I'm not going to show you how to do that. Again, I've got courses on this stuff, and I've got trainings on this stuff, and you can go to Google as well. But mailing the people that don't open your emails is important. And then of course, it doesn't stop there. If the launch is a 3-day launch, mail every day for 3 days and tell people right at the end. You can make a lot of sales on the last day. What a lot of these kind of like serial launchers will do is they'll promote a product on day one. On day two, they'll stop it because they're promoting another product and promoting another product. And every day, people are getting emails saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. And after a while, people think, what? I'm tired of this. There's no value here. Whereas somebody like me or other marketers that do it what I believe to be the right way will focus on one product for 2 or 3 or 4 days, however long that promo is, and sometimes even longer, not all the time. So there's tons of things you can do to get noticed, but it all boils down to this. And if you're not this, you'll lose this very quickly. So these are the 2 things I think that you need to focus on: audience and being honest, treating your audience how you would like to be treated. You would not like somebody to promote rubbish to you just for a quick commission. Don't do it to them. Yes, you might make mistakes. Yes, you may choose a vendor that you didn't know and then they didn't support the product. We all make mistakes. We all promote stuff looking back in hindsight. Maybe it wasn't a good idea, but you can only do your best. But focus on this stuff and I guarantee you'll see better results. And if you start building your list, building your audience, maybe even launching your own products in whatever niche you're in, you're definitely going to be able to get better results as time goes by. And I want to just explain a little bit before we finish about honesty and audience with this little thing here. This was a launch that sold over 5,000 units. And if we click on the JV contest, I didn't win it, by the way, I didn't even get in the top 10. But I want to show you what's possible. I finished 20th. When this loads up, it will show me at 20th position. Okay, scroll down. There I am, 20th position. You know, people beat me, fair enough. But look, there were, let's scroll right the way down to the bottom. We got 200 and something people, 222 promoted this launch. Now there's no shame in being down here because we've all been down here at one point. But all the people down here, there's no reason why they can't be up here in a couple of years' time or a year's time. It all depends on how they apply themselves. But I emailed for this particular product. I bought this product, so I did buy it. And I emailed this product out twice. I sent out 2 emails and I mailed my unopens like I said before. I didn't create a review video until the last email. I didn't make a review on my blog. I didn't do anything on my Biz Adam site. There's nothing here on that particular product. And I didn't offer any bonuses, nothing. I just emailed and said, I think it's a good product, pick it up. You know, and I made almost $1,000. How's that possible? Because of this audience and over earning their trust. You know, that's how it's possible. I would never be able to do that if I hadn't had the trust. Now, if I had made a review post and I'd pre-sold it and I'd given a cracking bonus, I'm pretty confident I could have been in the top, say, between 3 and 6, I reckon I could have been in. I may not have won it or finished second. Excuse me. Some people just have been in the game longer and they have just too much firepower. Their audience is just bigger, and that's understandable. That's fair enough. But that's what can be achieved with just a quick email to a segment of your list if you've built up that know, like and trust factor and you have the audience. It doesn't have to be the biggest audience, but it's got to be an engaged audience, and that's the biggest takeaway I think anybody can get from this. So if you've actually watched up until now, I mean, you must be tired. I'm tired, my voice is going. I want to give you a little gift. This is going to be 2 videos. There's nothing to opt in for. There's no hidden things. It's a case study of how I made four and a bit grand winning the Funnelize launch and $1,700 in prize money. If you're in my Biz of Adam group, you may have seen this already. If you're on YouTube or elsewhere, it might be a first. There are 2 videos, 22 minutes, 38 minutes, so it's an hour long. We'll take up a bit of your time, but despite this being a year ago, everything is still 100% relevant today. The thing is, few people can be bothered to do it. If you can be bothered and you have an audience, you're going to win in this affiliate marketing game, and you'll sleep well at night knowing that you've not promoted a piece of rubbish to people. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave me a comment. If you're not on YouTube, just I hope this video was helpful. Other than that, cheers, I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.